Okay, so the agenda for tonight's meeting is just to review what we've done thus far, make sure that we haven't missed anything, and then the discussion for us is on whether or not we should go ahead and whether we should put together a resolution for the changes that we've made thus far.
Erica, your sound is up as high as it can go.
It is. I don't know what it is with
You might, I mean, even on the meeting sometimes, but you might need to, you don't have like you might have to get a extra little mics or something. I don't know.
It's only a problem on this meeting when I meet with the city, I should say.
Huh?
Is this better? Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
what it is. It seems to only be a problem with the when I meet with the city.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you real good now, because we couldn't hear you either when we was in that last meeting that I wasn't supposed to be in.
Okay.
Yeah, that's very good. Mhm.
Okay. Are we still recording? Yes, we're still recording. Okay, so what I was saying was that what we're going to do today is just go over what we've completed thus far, discuss whether or not we want to incorporate what we've agreed upon thus far into a single resolution. And then when we commence the review in September, whatever changes we make from then until, whatever point, have a separate resolution for. So I'm going to pull back open the document that we've been working on. Okay. And so here is just, saying that we're going to keep these sections. We had originally said we were going to take them out, but we're keeping them in, the mayor, so it doesn't change anything there. That's not a change. I'm going to highlight in yellow because I know we have some changes that we've made that are like edits, not necessarily, things that we've made that were changes to what we proposed. So as an example, we were proposing to remove this, we're keeping it in here, but this would not go into a charter resolution because it's actually not a change. So I'm just going to highlight the ones that are actual changes.
What about we decided not, I mean, her powers, I guess she still has to have something written for powers.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we kept the section. So this inhabitants of the city of Glenarden, so that is a change. I'm just going to highlight that so we, again, will know which ones are changes. This charter is the municipal corporation charter of the city of Glenarden. This would be a change. We're striking that through. And this will make it easier for us to actually just go ahead, when we're doing the resolution, what the changes are. Okay. The limits of the city of Glenarden shall be existed. There's nothing here. This change is coming out because the name changed from what it was before to what it is now. So that is why that is happening. In addition, a copy of, shall be in the, This is City Hall. Council clerk. And the organization ex council. All legislative powers of the city shall be vested in a council consisting of a mayor, as described in Article 4, and 6 council members.
Now I'm looking at up above in B, where you have the where it's highlighted, where it says the municipal center,
Mhm.
that is an addition. I mean, that's the change.
Yes.
So,
Before
and
it said
then,
on file in City Hall. Now it's
So
gonna
do you-
say on file in the city's municipal center with the council clerk.
so do you think that maybe, and I'm looking up there with a reference where there's this a cross out, so that's a delete. Do you think the addition should be, in addition to being highlighted, it should be red or it's okay? See how it's red there,
Well,
but it's not,
Yeah, it's gonna be red depending on who made the change, right? So if I made changes, it's in red. If
oh,
Karen, yeah, so it's not really the text color, it's just, that's the indicator.
yeah, I was just wondering that way. I mean, I was just trying to, you know, I guess it'll be easy either way. Anything in red and highlighted would be definitely, what it's changed to, but you're saying that identifies who did it, okay.
Yeah,
I
and
guess
now
I can
it's
do
gonna
nothing
look
now.
like, now it's gonna look like I did all of them because I'm highlighting them, but
No, I'm saying if that was the way you could, I didn't know there was what you call
yeah, when you do the track changes, it's, so that it could distinguish, like you see some of these here are in blue.
it. Yeah, okay, well, we just,
Yeah. So, okay. Shall be elected as hereinafter provided, and who shall hold office for a term of 4 years or until their successors take office. Okay. And then this would come out because this was just confusing.
mm-hmm.
Beginning and end of term, the regular term of council members shall begin 1 hour after the start of the regular council meeting we took this part out on the second Monday. That's coming out.
After the start of the regular council meeting in June,
Yeah,
yeah.
Following their election and shall expire upon the seating of their successors. Okay. I kind of feel like we should. I want us to look at all of these references because there may have been a resolution after this to replace this one. So I'm just going to highlight that in another color. I'm going to highlight that in red for us to follow up on. No, because that might mean to people that it's wrong. Let me see, a green, all right, color it. How about we go with this nice light blue? Okay. Council members shall be at least 21 years of age as of the date of their filing for candidacy. So that's what we agreed on. So they have to be, when they file to be a candidate, they have to be 21. Shall have resided in the city for at least 1 year immediately preceding the date of their election.
Now, so you are, okay with the ward and the at large versus everyone at large?
Each council member running the representative ward shall be a resident of the ward the council member seeks. I mean, we can always check that again. I mean, my thinking is that the city of Glenarden is small and that representatives at large truly represent the whole city. And even when we have ward representatives, we propose legislation. It's not just dealing with our area.
Right.
So,
Okay.
I mean, I don't have a problem with going to everybody at large, but we haven't discussed that with the broader council. That would be another point that we have to kind of bring up. So.
Yeah, I don't have a problem. I mean, I had a couple of citizens ask about that. Were we going to change back or keep it at? Most people, I mean, they've always had a ward rep, but yeah. And the other questions that came up, which I guess we wouldn't have anything to do with, I don't think, I don't know, we have to deal with county, is that are we going to, what about going into 4 wards?
Well, so I think that's valid, but it wouldn't change this piece right here because this is just saying if a member is representing a ward, they have to be a resident of that ward.
Yeah.
To get into the council section, then that will be where we address like how many wards we'll have, how many representatives we'll have, will everybody be at large or how it'll be done?
Yeah.
Any person as planning the principal residence, let me just read this, make sure. Each council member running the representative ward shall be a resident of the ward the council member seeks to represent at the time of filing for candidacy, right? A council member shall retain throughout his term of office all the qualifications necessary for his election, and failure to retain all such qualifications shall cause a forfeiture of his office.
Okay. Each council member running to represent a ward shall be a resident of the ward.
Mhm.
The council member seeks to represent at the time. So in other words, say if they was Ward 2 and then they moved to Ward 3.
So at the time of the filing for their candidacy, right, but then if they move, because it says here, a council member shall retain throughout his term of office all the qualifications necessary for his election. So if they lived in Ward 2 and they ran for Ward 2, but then they moved to Ward 3, they would forfeit their office because they failed to retain all such qualifications, being that they are a resident of that ward.
Okay. Election failure to retain. Okay.
Okay, each council member, so we were just gonna talk about the.
And that homestead thing, that means that, if you have a homestead credit here, then that,
Yeah, that's one of the ways to verify that you're a resident of.
but it's not true. Not at all.
What's not true?
I mean, there have been candidates that have ran, they own a house here, but they don't live. I mean, they don't live. They have 2 homes and they live primarily in another, municipality. But
Okay,
because they had the homestead tax, they could run.
So are you
But
saying that this should not be a verification?
at first we had, it was a percentage of having to live in, but still, nobody's gonna go around and try to prove it, but, that big thing where they was having, the situation even with the other, a while ago, with another, council member. But basically what it said, say for instance, like, I know people that have homes and they live in Calvert County or they live in Montgomery County, whatever, but they have a home here and but they don't live here. If they have their homestead tax here, they could run if they want to and never even be in Glenarden, except for when they want to go on their property. So that I personally think that does not necessarily determine, because I think I was told that you can have it on whichever property you want to have it on. I might be wrong.
There are other verification methods besides that. I'm bringing it up.
Mhm.
And I think it's just using that as an example
Mhm.
of one of the verification methods. Mhm. I'm looking on my phone to see them. Okay, so what do you want to do about that?
I think that should be up for discussion with the whole council. I mean, we could leave it, for discussion as well, but
Well, what would be your recommendation for how we could verify? Because whether it be deeds, homestead tax credit, tax returns, if they have multiple, addresses, they can use any of them. I don't know how we would prove that they're actually staying at one versus another.
Right. So at that point, then maybe you should even, I mean, if you can't prove it, then you, I mean, what's the use even having any stipulation?
Yeah, and but the reality is most people don't have multiple homes. The average person doesn't, has one home. So I think by having a homestead tax credit, that will, address multiple people. But I think also if people are aware or have some reason to believe that a person doesn't live somewhere, then they should say that. Because I just don't know how else we would prove it.
Yeah, we can move on
Okay.
because
Um,
that has happened.
So there's nothing changing here. We just said we were going to look at how other municipalities structure their salary, which that wouldn't be in the charter. So that's nothing to look up, and that's not a change to the charter. Okay, so the newly elected council shall meet, instead of saying on the second Monday, it's just going to say shall meet in June. In each election year. So this helps to clarify that in each election year for the purpose of organization, after which the council shall meet regularly at such times as may be prescribed by its rules, but not less frequently than once each month, except, however, that during the months of July, August, and December, the regularly scheduled meetings may be canceled by a majority of the members of council. So this is where we added in the winter break. Special meetings shall be called by the clerk to the council upon the request of the mayor. We took out president of the council because that will be the mayor essentially, or a majority of the members of the council. We did this already, adding a winter recess, so let me just take that out. Okay, closed sessions, we took this all out.
So
And
basically, the mayor, just so that I have it right, the mayor will be will do the meetings such as the way the president is doing it now.
Right, the mayor will preside.
Approve the agenda and all of that.
Yep, the mayor will preside over the meeting. So all of this was taken out to just say all meetings of the council shall be open to the public except such meetings as may be closed in accordance with the provisions of Maryland law. The rules of the council shall provide the residents of the city shall have a reasonable opportunity to be heard at any regular or special meeting in regard to any municipal question. No ordinance, rule, or regulation shall be finally adopted at a closed session. And then it's saying to see the general provisions article of the annotated code, Title 3. And that was because some of this stuff was not, this was not the full comprehensive reasoning for closing a session. So now we're going to just reference the annotated code. And then wherever it says president, it has now been replaced with chairperson up here, right? And the chairperson is the mayor. So the mayor shall serve as chairperson of the council and shall preside over all meetings of the council. So that is the language that will remain. Right. Mayor. The mayor shall serve as chairperson of the council and shall preside over all meetings of the council. Then we have at its organizational meeting on this is for Mayor Pro Tem. This actually shouldn't be crossed out. It should be Pro Tem. At its organizational meeting on the second Monday of June in each year, the council shall elect from its members a mayor pro tem who shall execute the duties of the mayor in the absence or disability of the mayor. The mayor pro tem shall not receive any compensation other than the compensation received as a council member. So the mayor will be elected at large, as we discussed, but the mayor pro tem will be voted on each year. The mayor pro tem, in June each year. The council shall elect from its members a mayor pro tem who shall execute the duties of the mayor in the absence or disability of the mayor. And this just says the mayor pro tem doesn't get any special money. Okay. All right. Then a majority of the members of the council shall constitute a quorum for the transaction of business, but no ordinance shall be approved. I guess it didn't need to come out because it wasn't. Nor any other action taken without the favorable votes of at least 4 members of the council, unless otherwise required by law or the charter. Okay. Section 307. Okay. Yeah, these were just questions, so we're not making any changes there. The minutes, we're not making any changes there. And this was actually something that we said would be in the rules around the administrative resolutions versus those that are more substantive. So we will put that in the council rules if we decide to do that. An ordinance may be introduced by any other regular, all right? Yeah, so, yep. A proposed ordinance shall be passed or passed as amended or rejected or its consideration deferred to some specified future date. Okay, 5 minutes of council. Okay, so we just took this part because it's not going to be relevant anymore around providing it to the mayor. There's no veto power. Every ordinance, unless it is passed by an emergency ordinance, shall become effective at the expiration of 20 calendar days following approval by the council. There's no more veto, so that's basically what this is. An emergency ordinance shall become effective on the date specified in the ordinance. That is it. Okay. Filing of the ordinance, nothing changes there. The mayor, okay, it's election term, the mayor shall be elected as hereafter provided, shall hold office for a term of 4 years. Didn't it say 4 years before though? I don't know, maybe it didn't. Or until it's at the beginning with the election. I think it always said 4 years. Yeah, all right, or until a successor is elected and qualified. We just took that piece about 2013 out because it's just confusing. The newly elected mayor shall take office 1 hour after the start of a regular council, 1 hour after start, yeah, of the regular council meeting on the second Monday in June following following the mayor's election. The mayor holding office shall continue to hold office for the term for which he or she was elected or until a successor takes office under the provisions of this charter. Why do we have these? Are we supposed to have these? I guess that's a question for Karen. Why we
What?
have these references, the charter
The
resolution?
charter changes?
Yeah. I feel like that would just get unwieldy.
Yeah,
at
because
that point.
Hmm.
I just feel like it would become like it would just get longer and longer. Why do we even have this here? The current charter is whatever.
I mean, we probably can ask some Karen, but I mean it's showing that there have been revisions, just like if that's the case, the dates that we do this is going to be listed there. I mean,
Right, but there's
revisions.
always going to be revision. Like, how far do we go back? Like, because the charter was done in was not first done in 2013, and there were certainly charter revisions between when it was first done in 2013, and those are not listed.
Yeah, but the thing is, I mean, I guess we need to find out whether that's something that is, did it become law that we had to do it in 13, or
Right.
I mean, just
Yep. So we'll find that out.
yeah.
Okay. 21 years of age at the time of filing candidacy, same thing as it was the council. Same thing, same language that we had above. The mayor shall receive, there's no changes there. Powers and duties generally, the mayor shall be a member of the council. The mayor shall be a member of the council. So you can highlight it. And shall have all the rights and duties, shall have all the rights, duties, and obligations of a council member. So now the mayor will be able to vote and speak, unlike today. The mayor shall serve as the council's presiding officer and may participate in all discussions and shall have a vote on all matters before the council. The mayor shall have no power to veto because the mayor now has a vote. Serve as, all right. The mayor shall be recognized as the head of city government for all ceremonial purposes by the court for serving civil process and by the governor for purposes of emergency law. Okay. The mayor each year shall report to the citizens the condition of municipal affairs and make such recommendations. Okay. There's no more power to veto since the mayor now has the ability to vote. The mayor shall have such powers and duties. Okay. Powers may be required of the charter. Okay. The mayor shall attend all council meetings, and this is not necessary anymore because the mayor will be presiding over. The mayor may not incur any expense or enter into contract with the city, but yeah, so there's no entering into contract authority. Nothing needs to be approved by the city, by the council. Mayor pro tem, when the mayor is absent, so the mayor pro tem only goes into action when the mayor is absent, vacation, illness for a period of less than 30 days, the mayor pro tem shall serve as the acting mayor until the return of the mayor. So everything here is the same as what it was
So
before.
the mayor then will not be doing any monthlies then, right?
No.
And so the monthlies will be done by the city manager?
Yeah.
Okay.
They'll make their report. When both the mayor and the mayor pro tem are absent from the city and the period of such absence less than 30 days, the duties of acting mayor shall be exercised by the, I was supposed to go back and put that language in there. So I'll add that language. We have it in our council rules now, what happens. So I'll put that in there.
Right.
In those instances where the duties of mayor exercised by either mayor pro tem or the other, whatever that role is that I got to put in there of the council pursuant to this section, such duties shall include the co-signing of city checks and drafts, et cetera, blah. And then this is coming out. Okay, and then the city manager, we just added the appointment, the removal as well. There shall be a city manager appointed by the council, which now is inclusive of the mayor, so it doesn't need to say the mayor and the council. The city manager shall serve at the pleasure of the council, and the city manager's compensation shall be determined by the council. The city manager shall be appointed on the basis of executive and administrative qualifications. And the city manager need not be a resident. While office is only, again, the mayor is part of the council, so it doesn't need to be that. And this is going to be in blue. We're going to find out, do we need to even have these references? The city manager shall be the chief administrative officer, so this is just grammatical changing to capital letters, and shall be responsible to the council for the administration of all city affairs, placed in his or her charge by the council or under this charter. Okay. Powers and duties of the city manager is not changing. We only changed out references where it says mayor and council, because there's no need to have both because the mayor is part of the council. So the report is still there for the city manager to make. Authorize all purchases of supplies and equipment in line as set forth in, we just need to, I guess it was section 818, but let's just check and make sure that's the right one. Okay. Perform other duties as the council may require or may be required elsewhere. Check this reference, make sure that's right. The city manager shall be subject to an annual performance evaluation to be performed by the council. It needs to be, because it will all be one body. Okay, and the performance and evaluation criteria shall be prepared by the mayor and adopted by the mayor with approval of. Okay. The council may remove the city manager from office with an affirmative vote of the majority of the council within 30 days written notice to the city manager. Okay. And we just took out this process. This is the process, but then they just need to give 30 days written notice to the city manager. Okay. Acting city manager. The city manager may designate and the council may confirm a department head as acting city manager to exercise power and perform the duties of the manager. And okay. So changes. And then here is just making reference to okay, and then that's where we stop. So when we get to the here we can talk about the different powers and stuff, but that's as far as we've reviewed. So what are your thoughts about I'm just trying to see how much more we have left. What are your thoughts? So here we can deal with the ward representation down here in 707. What are your thoughts on aggregating what we've done thus far and putting it into a charter resolution and bringing that to the next work session and then going through the process?
I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I think if we do little by little, you know, like you said, sections instead of waiting for the whole thing, and then you have, you know,
yeah,
multiple, yeah. So we still need to, I guess we need to take a consensus, even with that, but I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I mean, we would essentially be taking a consensus when we are in the work session. If they say no, they want to wait, then we would just wait. But Yeah, that'll allow us to just move forward, knowing that that piece is done, and then anything that follows, we're just being consistent with. So, all right. So this is our last.
So this would be, I guess this would be, what would you, this would be a, I mean, how many sections have we done? I mean, if, per section, right?
Yeah, so no, I think we would just do one charter resolution for all of the changes from article whatever to whatever, from articles 1 through 5.
4, 5, okay, okay,
And then, so this would be our last meeting
that works.
of fiscal year 2023. June, we have to dedicate to the budget review and making sure that we get all that stuff done by the end of the month. And we're on recess in August and, I'm sorry, July and August. So we will resume in September with the review of the general powers of the council, section 6. And so,
Meanwhile, we'll be doing the charter change.
right. So that should, I mean, if we present this at the work session and then go through the process, by the time we get back in September, that if that resolution passes, then that would be, kind of final, and then we just go on to the next area.
Sounds good.
All right. So, all right. Well, have a good night. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.
And I will talk to you later.
Okay, good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.